Sacramento improving to 6-3 after putting up 146 points against the Hawks last night. Leading man De'Aaron Fox notching his first career triple-double in the win, 31 points, 10 rebounds, 15 assists. I believe he is either just 21 or not even 21.
He's 20, yeah.
He is a child, and he is doing that. What is clicking for the Kings right now, Scottie?
Youth.
When you got it.
It's the young players. You said it, Fox, he has a motor, and he's pushing the ball, and that motivates his teammates. But a lot of it, to me, is about scheduling. And I think the schedule has worked in their favor thus far because they are a young team. They need some easy games before they start running up against teams that are going to be playing above 500. So I think the schedule has fitted them well, and letting the young players just kind of play has allowed them to develop.
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, Scottie, because a year ago, even with a soft schedule, they still would have probably lost some of these games, if not all of them.
Yeah, they got a year of experience.
So I'll give them a lot of credit. What they do, Rachel, is they play fast. Even as everyone's
this
playing
is pace
fast,
and space.
Even as everyone is playing fast in the league, they are playing faster.
Yes.
They're using their youth, like Scottie said, and their athleticism to their advantage. It's not just that they're fast. They force a lot of turnovers. They get out in the break. They're fourth in points off turnovers per 100 possessions. They're third in fast break points per 100 possessions. But there's a part of this that is fool's gold. Because remember that nifty stat I told you about earlier from Second Spectrum that tells you the quality of the shot? Based on the quality of the shot that they're shooting, they're actually shooting 5 percentage points better than what we would expect.
So their shots are going in
better
more
than we would expect.
Right.
So we expect that probably to come back down to earth. But this is a huge first step. Regardless of what happens to them.
So great.
They didn't used to have this, so now they got it. That's a first step.
Scottie, your old friend Vlade Divac called this group a young super team.
Well, I mean, it could be considered a young super team if he can keep those young players at the end of their contracts.
And,
but,
if they can be super.
Right.
Yes.
That's the other
We'll
part.
work on that.
Definitely got some pieces. They've been drafting pretty low in the last few years.
They have been drafting. Some of them have worked. Some of them have not so much. Commissioner Adam Silver holding a press conference yesterday to announce the 2022 All-Star Game will be held in Cleveland. Right? Also talking to reporters about the new emphasis on freedom of movement and how that has impacted defense. Silver said, quote, "We had a call with our competition committee last week, which is made up of coaches, GMs, owners, players, officials, to discuss just that. And the consensus, the strong feeling in the group, was that the rule changes were happening as intended." He added, "The question that seems to be coming back from some of the coaches and players is, in essence, how much physicality will be allowed on defense? Everyone is feeling their way through. What we're hearing is the teams will adjust to wherever we end up and just want to make sure there is consistency across the league." So, Scottie, as a man who made some of his money playing some of the best defense we have ever seen in the NBA, how do you feel about the new rules and the scoring surge we're seeing?
I love it.
Ooh.
Oh!
I think it's
Spoiler.
great for the game of basketball, especially when you talk about an 82-game season. I see the game has evolved now, the type of players that are playing in the game. It's an outside game. It's built around shooters, and it's a perimeter game. And the teams that have the best perimeter players are the teams that's going to have success. And I like to see the scoring. I'm a guy that, I made my living off of playing defense, but the game has evolved from that. And if I was a player in the game, you have to make a change.
So would you like this here?
I would. I would love to be in the game and be a three-point shooter now. I mean, you getting up. I mean, three points in a game when I played was max.
Yeah.
If you got up more than that, you're overdoing it.
Yeah, right. Right.
I mean, so
stop taking those low percentage shots.
yeah, I mean, and guys are shooting the ball now with 5 seconds. It's like you like to see players go out and score 40, 50 points.
Yeah.
And I think that the game has embraced that now. And as a fan, you have to love it.
Love that.
And here's my thing. People say that because everyone's scoring, that means defense doesn't matter. Quite the opposite. It means now more than ever, we need smart defenders, guys who know how to be in the right place at the right time and defend without using their hands. That's why I think Scottie would be great in this era, because Scottie was a great IQ defender. He wasn't roughing people up defensively. So what we're talking about here is, and Ethan Strauss of The Athletic wrote a great piece about this, about in football they had the Ty Law rule, where they basically got rid of the grabbing and the holding.
Yeah, and he pointed out they didn't actually change a rule.
They just
changed the point of emphasis, which I thought was a great point by Ethan, and it's exactly what's happened here.
And Monty McCutcheon said they looked back in film from the 90s and the early 2000s, and they said there wasn't as much grabbing and holding off ball as there is today, and that's why they said we got to get rid of that part to open it up. I was one of the people saying it's the beginning of the year. After a while, they'll swallow those whistles. Yeah. But in that piece, I learned Monty McCutcheon said monthly they're getting video reviews, sending it to all the teams and all the refs and everybody saying this, it got to go.
Right.
This is good defense. And so this seems like it's going to be something here to stay. And let's be honest, like Scottie said, this is fun for the fans.
Yeah.
People, every NBA fan base can now legitimately say, I went to a game in my team, whether they were good or bad, at least they played fun.
They were fun.
And I just want to say this.
Yeah.
When I played, I loved the game, but coming down and bringing the ball out and calling a play and executing, those days of basketball is done. That's boring basketball. So it's good to see the game that is fast. You know, guys are kicking the ball up the floor. They're taking quick shots. That's what the fans want to see. They don't want to see the point guard that has to bring the ball back out and look at the coach and get a play.
And with everyone standing around. Yeah. That's the thing that I like about the game today.
You got the other team. They done scouted you, so they calling the play out. And then now we're looking at a 95-85 game. You know, I like the rule changes.